All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I apologize for that little delay there. We were having some technical difficulties, but I think we got them all fixed, and we have a whiskey poured, and we're going to talk about a really delicious and exquisite and just amazing cask tonight. But before we get into all that, again, I just wanted to welcome everyone back to our little slice of heaven here on YouTube. And I wanted to let you know that tonight, myself and my friend Kat Aagesen, she has whiskey professional, extraordinaire. She is so awesome, so wonderful. I've been very privileged to know her for the past couple of years and learn quite a bit from her. And I'll be bringing her on here soon to talk about our summer seasonal selection. And so we decided this year it would be kind of cool to essentially select these US exclusive cask to pair up with the seasons. And so we did our spring seasonal selection, which was just that old school type of cask from distillery number 4, Selkies, and Peat is that one. And that one was just absolutely beautiful. I feel very blessed to now be here again to taste through our summer selection, which I can't talk too much about it. But before I do that, I am going to bring Kat on, and dun 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 dun.
Yeah. Okay. And guess what? So I got my laptop working, so I don't have to use my phone. So it's like a better camera and angle and everything. So thank goodness. Thank goodness. And I'm is it okay if I tilt my fantastic view?
I mean, look at that. Beautiful.
And it's like, you know how New York hotels are so tiny, but I really mean this is my favorite hotel room I've ever stayed in my life. And it's microscopic, but it's just this view.
It's beautiful.
Thank you so much for I apologize. Thank you for waiting. I apologize for being late.
No worries. Better late than never, and you're worth the wait. So,
and do you understand? Okay, so I'm thrilled to have my own and my own class. I'm so excited. I just I write for, I don't know what you said in your intro, but I just want you to know that I co-edit the malt review, and my last review was for not just the bottle of it was the Portent of Deception.
Yes.
Portent of Deception, but a review of SM, WS in general. It was kind of like my Father's Day recommendation, and I sent it to Taylor, who I co-edited it with, and he's never ever given me notes or rewrites, but he was like, "This looks like a paid ad," and I'm like, "No, but I'm really just this enthusiastic about it. It's not you know what I mean."
We did not pay you.
No. So my last article was about how a membership is the best Father's Day gift. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I gave a very brief introduction into the just incredible history you have in the world of whiskey. Do you want to kind of, before we dive into this particular whiskey, do you want to
I would just
tell the people who you are, Kat?
I would love to. So my name's Kat. I'm from Nebraska. I've lived in New York I'd say I grew up in New York because I lived there from 18 to 25 or something, 24-ish. But I've lived in LA since 2007. Whiskey was always a hobby. And I would go to whiskey tastings, like Whiskey Live, and it was just always a hobby until one day I met someone that was like, "Here's my card, we're hiring." And I'm like, no, only experts do this. And so it was kind of like, I was called a single malt specialist. It's kind of like glorified promo. And very quickly after doing that, there must have been a secret shopper, because I was promoted and they flew me out to Chicago and Philadelphia and San Francisco doing the duties of Scotch Master. So I was so happy. And then I worked for Balcones, and then for the past 3 years, and I had a whiskey podcast where I'd review whiskey called Incompatible, but you can find my writing on Malt Review, but also I'm giving you tea today.
Ooh.
And don't feel bad for me. I'm okay. This craft distillery in Oxnard that I've been the sales manager of for the past 3 years, they let me go on Wednesday. So I'm really happy to have this on the books. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just like, well, I'm on the right path. And Jenna, Ellie, I will never work for not Scotch again. Like,
you gotta come back home.
From this point on, like, in Ratatouille, where like Chef Ego is like, if I don't love it, I don't swallow. Like, I'm only working for a Scotch from this point on. So.
Well, any Scotch whiskey distillery or brand would be, they would be crazy to not have you. You have, I was saying beforehand, you have taught me so much about whiskey. And I'm very glad that I got to meet you all those years ago in LA when I was living out there. And it's a real treat to be here.
I know, I miss you not in LA. Like,
I know
you, and like, I know you moved and it was like the pandemic and everything. So it was just like, and it's, I feel like it's just starting now to kind of come back. But yeah, I miss not seeing you at the events and everything.
Yeah, I'm definitely missing it. I feel like the last time I saw you is, I think Ben was with us and we were tasting through like an old Isla whiskey that you brought back or something from.
Oh, was that it? Was
when
that
you went to?
Yeah, so that was the night. That was a signatory 1989 Boonahaven, and Ben
I know
guessed the ABV to the point. He was like,
I talk about this moment all the time with him, and he's like, no, it was just I got lucky. I was like, no, Ben, you were like a savant.
He was like 64.2, and I'm like, what? Like, or whatever it was. It was cask strength. I do remember that, but like it was to the point. So.
Yeah, that was a fun moment. Definitely.
Okay, I've already started nosing and tasting, and I can barely like contain myself.
Well, so let's dig into this.
Yeah, you give me the protocol and like.
Yeah. So basically, what we decided to do is, for this year, this is something we've never done before. We thought it would be really cool to pair up these U.S. exclusive casks with the seasons. And so pick a whiskey that we think is just most enjoyed throughout the season. And so for the spring, we did this beautiful whiskey from Orkney that I just totally fell in love with. And it was like old school, like style from that particular distillery, which I don't find much anymore. So I was really thrilled to have that whiskey. And then this one, for one, this flavor profile is, I know I'm not allowed to have favorites in this, but I do. And this flavor profile, like anytime I see this color coming down the line, I'm just like over the moon, cannot wait to taste it. And I have tasted this before we jumped on, and I'm really trying to just contain my excitement.
So are we both tasting it brand new?
Yeah, we're tasting it. So
you haven't previewed? Yeah. Oh.
I've nosed it, and I'm like, I want to just put my whole face in the glass because it just is so just gooey.
No, this is something else. This is
yeah,
for sure.
Very excited. So I will throw the stats up on what exactly it is we're gonna be tasting, and let's nose and taste it and like gush about it. And
I'm gonna grab a pen. I'm gonna grab a pen because I always have to nose and taste it. Like I have to doodle while I
go for it. All right, so while Kat is doing that, I'm going to throw up the information on this. And to let everybody know, this will not be available on the website tomorrow, but this will be a lottery-based bottle. So all of the lottery information will go up tomorrow, and you have until the 18th to get your submissions in. And you have to get your submissions in. Like, this whiskey is bananas. So this is Cask. Oop. Maybe if I know what I'm doing here. All right. Cask 42.68, an Atlantic Morning Dip. Ugh, love that name. This is a 15-year Highland that for 13 years was in an ex-bourbon hogshead, and then for 2 years was in a second fill, heavily charred hogshead. And this is in our oily and coastal flavor profile. Oh, so excited.
Yeah,
And
I mean, you've got my number. You knew which one to did you know like the stats and everything and before you sent it to me?
I knew where it was from and I knew the age, but I didn't dig into anything else.
So you didn't know your category of oily and coastal.
No, I didn't know that yet.
That's my lifeblood.
Yeah, this I just nosing this is like quintessential oily and coastal. I mean, I can't wait. Yeah. All right. Let's dig into this.
Yeah. Absolutely. So just this sounds so silly. Like in The Office where Michael Scott goes, this is a red, like for but right away the smoke hit me. I am so sorry. My hotel phone is ringing, so that's somebody. Oh my God. Wait, but they stopped. Okay.
And Matthew J. Ryan, I'm going to read the full tasting notes on this because they are worthy of being read. So yes, I will definitely, the ones on the label are shortened.
Okay, so the nose, when I was like, okay, this is something else because it's definitely a smoke, but it's a different kind of smoke that I'm used to. Like, you know, like it's so sugary and smoky.
Yeah.
On the nose.
And two, this particular distillery, makes both unpeated and peated malt, two different names. And I feel like this is like a little bit of both. Like it's a little bit of, I don't know. It is, when I first nosed it, I got this like tiger balm and like baby powder, which is like so weird, which I've never gotten baby powder on the nose of any whiskey. And I've nosed a couple whiskeys in my time.
It is,
but I get this like,
it is fresh like that.
It is very fresh. Yeah. Oh like, my gosh.
Like, let me do my thing, which is for what I do is nose taste. I'm gonna put a little water in a different one. Thank you, by the way, for these glasses. These are so cute. And how do I get this opened back to LA, or do I just gift a very lucky person? No, I want it for myself. I want it.
There are ways. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you. So then I opened it up a little bit. Like I want to say, like on the nose, I want to say just from the bottle that at first it was like a fruity smoke, but something that I remembered in the past. So maybe like a sour cherry. Do you know what I mean? But the nose is so beautiful. Please continue. Okay.
No, I don't want to say what I'm tasting because I tasted it because I couldn't wait because my mouth was like watering just nosing it. And I'll read the tasting notes from the full tasting notes, but I'm not doing that yet. So don't worry, Matthew. I will do that.
Hold on. Hold the fuck on.
Bugs in here.
Blackjack gum on the nose, on the open.
Blackjack gum?
I mean it. I have never smelled blackjack gum. And it was weird because I was like, hang on. This smells like
I know this.
I know, but I was like, wait, this smells like something that I know that I don't like. But I love, but do you know what I mean? But like, motherfucker, I'm so sorry. Oh my God. Hello?
All right. Well, I've never had blackjack gum, so I have no idea what it is she's talking about, but I'm just going to run with it. So what is blackjack gum?
You don't know blackjack gum.
I don't. I'm going to Google it real quick.
You are, I forget that you're like this, like UK hybrid, but like.
Oh, yeah, that.
But it's like.
Black licorice.
Exactly. Yep. You know it, right?
I know it.
So do you understand that literally my favorite thing, I think it's my favorite thing, besides like geography, which is fun, but like my favorite thing is nosing or tasting something that I have not that I have not smelled or tasted in years.
Yeah.
And I had not even thought about, like, I have not even thought about blackjack gum. And so thank you so much.
I didn't do it.
No, but I'm, I just got let go. I'm a little like raw nerve. So it's like, this is very sentimental to me because, sometimes you nose and taste things and you're just like standard fare, and I feel pressure to come up with something new. But a lot of times it's like, well, it's just the usual suspects. It's dried honey, it's orchard fruit, like whatever. But this is like,
yeah.
But do you get the like kind of sweeter, salty licorice?
Yes. I'm definitely with you on the sweet and salty. When I first nosed it, I definitely got like sweet. It was like sweet and fresh and like a little herbal, like weird thing going on in there that I got. And that could be like that licorice, that like black anise, like,
yeah. And like, yeah, people
whatever is happening.
Yeah. People say like licorice, fennel, anise a lot. Come on in. Sorry, there's just going to be some like, this is just,
You're so popular.
I'm just a chaos on those. Yeah, come on in. I am just an agent of chaos, and that's all that's happening. But I'm working on a dock here in New York, so the crew is coming in, and they're just going to like dump footage and everything. And I do apologize for like getting up and the phone ringing.
You're fine.
Okay, thank you. But so
this is what makes this fun, right?
Well, but okay, so what I was saying about
this is the fun of it.
It is true. But what I was saying about the licorice is that people say anise, fennel.
Yeah.
Okay. Shh, everyone. So sorry. Shh. So people say licorice and fennel and and anise a lot, but this is specifically blackjack gum, which is a lot of people don't like blackjack because licorice is very polarizing, but
right.
it does have that sweetness. Incredible.
Yeah,
I haven't even thought of blackjack gum in years. Okay.
When you said fennel though, I was like, there is like it's like on the very back. Like you have to dig through a little bit to get to it, but it's there like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like herbally, like woodsy. I don't know. Dude, the nose is like, it's so just captivating. You're just like, let me taste it.
That's true. And I'm just now paying attention to like the mid palate and the finish and everything. And it's like delicious. It is absolutely delicious. Everything. You guys want to go in there?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead. Make yourselves at home. John and Brennan just don't loud. But you guys
Are you on a live interview?
Yeah, but you can talk, but you just don't like play music. Like no acid trance. Thank you, sir, so much.
No acid trance. Thank you, sir.
No, like drum and bass while we're here. God damn it, this is good.
It's so good. It is so good. I was like, sometimes when I get really hyped, I try to like really contain it.
And I gotta tell you,
I can't.
I would not have thought to put this in the summer seasonal category.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it makes sense because it actually is quite light and refreshing, but it's just like, I would think oily and coastal. Don't you just naturally assume like Christmas, like
cold?
Yeah. This is really
But I like that this is like, I think it's because there is that like very fresh, like citrus, crisp, clean, like, but then you get that oily, that like salty, that sweet, that little bit of smoke. And I think that you could be on a beach, in the Highlands somewhere, maybe on the Isle of Mull. They have beaches, like in the summer, just like sitting back and enjoying this whiskey. Are you kidding me? Like I would be there in a second.
Do you have anything on the books for Scotland? I don't.
Not yet.
Don't. Yeah.
No.
I'm turning 40 October 21st. So I've never been to Berlin. So I'm going to spend my 40th birthday in Berlin. And once you're there, you might as well go because you're close.
Yeah.
But like,
Absolutely.
but Scotland's not like, oh, while I'm there, I'll go there for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to go there for a long, long time.
I know. I think I've threatened a one-way ticket for many years.
I did, yeah. I did when I went. I'm like, I'm gonna bring applications. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just gonna be like, hey, can I work here?
Please just bring me on.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So go on. Sorry.
I have to make note. So in the comments and everyone who's here tonight, I just did want to say hi because there are some pretty funny comments happening.
Oh,
so,
tell me. I didn't know people tell me who we know if we know.
Yes. So Matthew J. Ryan, he is the Peat Tar King. He like Peat. I can't even like have a peated whiskey at this point without being like, I wonder if Matthew J. Ryan has this. Like total Peat aficionado who is in New York, and so he's here tonight. Always a great.
Is he in the city?
What we do. That's a great question.
Well, I'm trying to get to the Flatiron Room before I leave on Saturday. If you'd like to meet an internet friend, stranger. No, but like Pete. Like, don't we both have that in common? Where it's like crave.
But I think that's what I'm really loving about this whiskey is that like, so I love peat in the summertime, like a peated highball. I talk about this all the time. It's like my favorite cocktail. It is like, you get that, it's refreshing. You get that citrus cut and you get that little bit of peat. It is probably my favorite outside of like a penicillin and a Negroni, my favorite cocktail. And so I like that you still are getting.
Am I getting like a little patchouli? Is that?
Yeah, there's like it's like a little hippie, like herbal, funky thing happening. And I think that is why I really love this for summer is because you just get enough of it to like satisfy you. Mm-hmm. If you do like that kind of profile. And it's stellar. So.
Okay. So I'm getting like this, like, and by the way, I know I've already said this before, but like to rephrase it, I wouldn't have thought just from all of the notes on the label and the nose straight from the bottle that this would be under summer series. But as soon as you swallow, like as soon as it's right here, it's like, oh, this is like some raspberry nest tea. What is that? Brisk. Like raspberry, it's just kind of, it's light.
Oh my gosh. I love that.
It is light. Yeah.
There is.
It's really interesting when you find something that has smoke that's also
refreshing.
Yeah, that's the word. I was gonna say effervescent, but I'm like, that's not the right word.
I could see that though, because like, I mean, the ABV on this is 9.9.
And that's my favorite thing too. Like, I love that because it tricks your brain like the $9.99 type. You know what I mean? Like, I love the $59.99. It's like, so it's 60, but
it's 60.
Yeah, but it looks.
Yeah, but it's weighty. Like, this is a robust kind of whiskey. Like, it really sits. Like, I took a sip of it and then I was like, it's still there. Like, I already swallowed it and it's still there. And it's like, it's there, it's here, like it's here. Like it's a weighty kind of whiskey.
Are you guys no, it's okay. Everybody, it's people are drinking whiskey. So nobody's like, you're fired, Kat. But are you guys okay with everything you need?
I'm just going to not dump footage tonight.
Okay.
I'm going to leave all my stuff here.
Okay.
I'm going to make sure you lock the door.
Okay. Yeah.
Very safe.
Yeah.
And that's it. We'll see you tomorrow.
You guys, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. We'll see you later, alligators. Those are my drug, my supplements. Look, bye. Thank you guys so much for a great day. Look, I look like a junkie because I have like fish oil, biotin, CoQ10, primrose oil. But Okay, God, I'm so glad they're gone. Thank
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, we have a few questions. So I did want to just address them really quick. So Duke, this was 13 years in ex-bourbon hogshead and then 2 years in a second fill heavily charred hogshead. So that is the cask makeup on this. And then Stephen was asking, how do I make a smoky highball? So basically I just use a peated whiskey, a cask strength peated whiskey if you have one
right. 13
lying around.
hogshead, 2 years in
The second fill heavily charred hogshead.
Okay.
Yep. And then I use tonic water, and I like to put a little bit of honey in mine and then a little lemon. So it's simple. It's typically stuff you have on hand, and it's delicious.
You shake it or
I don't. I just
stir?
I'm not a professional when it comes to doing that. So I just stir it up, and it's good and it's delicious. So and then I did want to, I think there are a few other questions up here. Mark Reyes said Scotch and acid trance, good combo. And we have Max Kruger's here, Nick Pelkey's here, Sean Spaeth, Adam Clary. We have Mayora's here, up in, he's what, Northern California, up towards San Francisco. Ben was here very briefly. I don't know if he is still here.
Boo!
And I know.
Boo, Ben.
And so we've got a really awesome group here tonight. So Mayora said, I think I'm going to make a Compass Box Peat Monster Highball. Sounds good.
Ooh,
yeah.
Ooh, nice. I remember you and because I love like making fun of the word influencer because everybody does, but I make fun of it in the good way where it's like, no, but you really did influence me. It was the Peat Fairy, right? It was the Peat right? Like
that was one of our blended batches. Yeah.
Yeah. Where I'm just like, you like absolutely inspired me. And I had to track a taste of that down. Same with barbecue fishnets.
Oh, that was Ben. See, Ben again. That cask, I think that is probably one of the most reposted and shared cask that we have bottled. I mean, people still, that bottle's like long gone.
Yeah, I'm mad about I never got a taste.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know.
This
Ben
weird
probably has some.
I've asked. He does not. Karai gave me like something that's kind of like the DNA. But it was very good, but it's not the same as like the bottle, but it's weird to have a regret like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
I have a couple.
What are you?
I would have just pulled, the trigger on, and I didn't.
So sorry, just to ask you about the numbers. Like for instance, an Atlantic morning dip. How many of those are allocated to the United States? And
so this was a full U.S. exclusive cask. And so you and I have one, a couple of my teammates have one. And so there were 233 bottles of this that came from the cask. And I believe tomorrow we'll have right around 215, I think, that are going to be up for grabs in the lottery. So, and that's it. We got the whole cask. That's what's really cool about these kind of seasonal selections that we're doing is that they're full U.S. exclusive casks. So they all get to come here. And we're seeing more of those as membership continues to grow here and the enthusiasm for these casks, grow here in the States. We're getting more and more U.S. exclusive casks, which is, pretty cool that, we have.
I'm calling them an Uber, but I'm listening. I'm dividing. I'm calling the okay.
No worries. So.
But that's not a lot.
Nope.
You know what I mean? Like you've got to jump on that pretty fast then. So is that like what happens when I guess when it's sold out, it's sold out.
And then it's gone forever. So what we'll do is we'll put all the lottery information up tomorrow. There'll be a link and we'll share it on social media. You'll get it in your inbox. For everyone who is listening, and you have until the 18th to get your submissions in, and then we'll randomly select a first wave winners, and we'll just continue to do that until they are all gone. But this is like, I think in a blind tasting, if you were to taste this, you would without question say this is an oily and coastal. Like this is like quintessential oily and coastal. It is, there's like that nice little herbal kind of note on it, and just really, really stellar whiskey. And on that note, I'm going to quickly read the tasting notes to this.
Can I get a few more in just because I like
to. Yeah. Of course.
Okay, so there's something so perfumey but sweet, like an artificial like candy again, or like but I just can't, like, I feel like it might be like something from like the Bath and Body Works, like Plumeria, like, you know what I mean? Or like it's a sweet perfumey. It's weird.
Now that you've like,
I plug my ears when I taste because I feel like it helps. It makes me look like I have special needs, but I do.
No, go do you look. I'm convinced that if my neighbors look in my windows when I'm nosing some whiskey, sometimes they're gonna be like, "What is she doing over there?" So go for it. But as you said that, this does kind of remind me of those Korean flower candies. Like they're like, I think they're like called flower kiss candies. And we get them all the time. And they're so perfumed on the nose and on the palate. They're delicious. And this definitely kind of gives me a little bit of that vibe. So
interesting. You also taught me what wine gums were.
Wine gums.
Yeah,
I think my mom actually has them in her cabinet, which I was shocked. So I may have to go steal those.
It's so like compared to American gummies, they're just like they're consistent. Anyways, thank you for teaching me about wine gums because they're great.
I didn't know what they were for the longest time. I would see them in tasting notes, and I'm like, "What the hell's a wine gum?"
Interesting.
I saw them at the airport when I was in Ireland, and I was like, that's a wine gum. I got to taste it. So I bought like 8 rolls of them at the airport to take home with me, and ate all 8 rolls of them. So
I will say about this, and then please, I feel bad for anybody watching that's like, get to it, you chatty, nattering broad. But I will say that I don't think in recent memory I've tasted something that's so vastly different when you open it up with a little bit of water.
Oh, like I guess I should try that.
It is a whole different ball game to me. Like this is like a little bit of water was the hit of blackjack.
Whoa.
And lime, and the non-water is like,
I feel like you definitely get more of that like smoke profile with a little bit of water. Like that really comes forward. At least for me, it does.
Yeah. Like these are 2 very different, but I'm going to say that I prefer the palette with no water. Neat.
Yeah.
No surprise. Yeah.
Yeah. I think with a little water, you lose a little bit of that like viscosity.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons I really freaking love this whiskey, just because it is like so oily and so coastal. Like Matthew J. Ryan, this is not peated. This is not the L1.
Mm-hmm.
It's the T1.
Okay.
But I do feel like that there is definitely, you do get a little bit of that like maritime, like smoky, peaty thing happening on the palate.
But the fun part about it is I'm getting a lot of candy type flavors, like a burnt marshmallow. You know what I mean? Like that perfect. Anyways, I'm in suspense to hear the professional SMWS notes.
I'm curious I haven't read them yet, so I am curious to see what they have to say. All right. So it says the panel found this one initially sweet. So we're on that, medicinal and mentholated. Lots of barley sugars, malt extract, syrupy sweetness, cough medicines, herbal teas, and fresh kiln air. Ooh, love that note.
Ooh.
Right? Robust, malty, and Water revealed eucalyptus tea, menthol tobacco, varnished hardwoods, pine wood sap, and herbal cough medicines. The mouth continued this medicinal theme with delicate notes of tar and imbrications. Bandages, pickled lemons in brine, malt vinegar, and wood char. Reduction gave everything a lovely olive oil sheen and brought robust notes of heather ales, aniseed, bouillon, and a kiss of herbal smoke. Matured for 15 years in a bourbon house head.
This is literally positive proof that we are such peat heads that we taste and nose right through it. And like most people are like medicine and we're like strawberries. Do you know what I mean? Like, because we're like so peaty, you know what I mean? Like I like the way that what I listed as my main ingredient is at the very bottom of that list. Do you know what I mean? Like what was forward to me was the licorice anise, and that's like at the very bottom of the list.
I mean, I think it's just what comes to people's mind first, or to their palate first, and you know, we're all
like, yes, so. Obviously, I can nose everything in that. Those are like definitely the usual suspects. But I think it's really interesting that as women, and I don't know if we really like women have more pleasure receptors, i.e. nerve endings, it is said. But are we really the more sensitive tasters and nosers, or are we just like more, or are we just more connected to like verbal communication?
Right. I think that we are more in tune with what is happening to us, whether that's like tasting, nosing, touch, like whatever the case is. I think we're just more in tune to that.
And
so I think
better
it is,
in every way.
I mean, obviously better. I felt like that goes without even saying. But I do think that, you know, when we nose and taste things, it is a lot easier for us to be like, oh, it's this, or, oh, it's that. And I think we have the capability, and I'm not saying it's just women. There are brilliant people out there of all genders who are brilliant nosers and tasters. But like I guess I could just speak for myself that I just feel like I'm able to like tap into a different part of like my brain when I nose and taste whiskey. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing.
Sorry, like I'm putting more light on me because it's getting dark now, but like I do think that's really interesting as peat heads that we went for like the romantic, like the fruit, like the strawberries, you know what I mean? Instead of the varnish, of course.
Yeah.
Like
I find this to be, I definitely get an element of that, but I do find this to be more like sweet. It's like a sweet,
very
smoke,
much,
sweet peat, sweet seaweed, sweet like coastal, like if you like melted a bunch of cotton candy on like some rocks in the sea and then licked it, like that's what it is, you know.
Ooh, sweet candy. That's funny.
Yeah,
that's funny.
This whiskey is like it is.
How much is that USD?
So this is $165 for this.
Oh, that's cheap for an FMSW bottle. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just know that. Oh, I just read that actually now the euro is equal to the dollar for the first time in 20 years. So you don't have to do the math on this one, but I think that's really cheap. I feel like when I'm really enticed by what you got, your outturns, they're like $300 usually.
I mean,
am I wrong?
Really depends. Okay. Yeah, it just really depends. I mean, bottles can range, I mean, really anywhere from $95 all the way up to.
Is that your cheapest?
Like
$95.
Yeah, I think that's probably, sometimes we see them a little less than that. But we try to be, you know, as fair as possible, you know, to get a cask strength whiskey from a distillery that typically doesn't really release them. Or, you know, from distilleries that don't release single malt forms at all. I think we do a great job of that. So
you guys,
this one is.
You really do.
Yeah, $165 for this. So again, the lottery information will be up on this tomorrow. It will go out to your email. We'll share it on social media. You'll have it everywhere, so you won't miss it. If you do have any questions about this, please don't hesitate to reach out. And we're more than happy to answer any questions that we have on that you have on this. But yeah, this is like, I wish I was on the Isle of Mull right now in the heart of summer, drinking this whiskey, like, with my feet in the water, just sitting there, taking it all in. I'm going to pretend I'm there and not in my mom's kitchen.
Seriously. And then eating something rich and delicious, and then like just kind of eating it off and walking it off and talking it off. So you just like, oh my God. Well, next time that you go, will you just tell me that you're going?
Yes, of course. Oh my God.
So
please, let's go.
So
Scotland
I can invite myself. Right. So I can invite myself along and go, because didn't we both have to cancel planned trips in 2020?
I know, which is like 2.5 years ago that those trips have been canceled.
Well, next up on the horizon, I know the certified Scotch professional, like the Council of Whiskey Masters, like I completed level 1. So next on the horizon is level 2, which I'm not looking forward to, because it's like a world whiskeys. It's like a bunch of bourbon and blah. But then the next, and I think it's still happening, but they had to pause it so much because of COVID. But
I know,
I think completing 3 and 4 levels, that's when you go to Scotland. And so that's why they had to. So anyways, that's how I'll get there the next time. If not, yeah. I mean, by hook or by crook.
You did the Springbank school, right? Isn't that when you were there last? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember you going into that.
That was like the highlight of my life. Like to go to the barley storage bin and see cobwebs. Do you know what I mean? Like to see like cobwebs, like these beautiful like spider webs in the rafters, and I'm just like marveling at them. And then I had this realization, like, you know what? I'm weird. I'm weird.
No.
Like, as a single woman, I've traveled across the globe to be like, look at these spider webs in this barley storage bin. So magnificent, you know?
I mean, but like those little details, and I think that's what's like, that's like the special stuff to me, right? Like, because you could see a bin of barley anywhere in the world, right? But it's like the little things that you notice in different parts of the world that you remember.
Springbank, they are magical, and everyone in Campbelltown, like around that is involved in that, they have a lot of integrity. Like they just, and I'm sorry, like I don't mean to be a hippie, but like, I guess there are a lot of redundant positions at Springbank, and they choose to, instead of being capitalist and greedy, they just choose to provide jobs for the people of Scotland. And like, I'm sorry, you can taste that.
Yeah.
You can taste it. Like, you can taste the love and
I believe in that 1,000%. You can definitely taste the love that goes into making these things.
Dude, now I
think a lot of love went into this whiskey.
I'm getting now great bubble gum from this. Ooh. Like, this is really good. I literally feel sorry for people who don't get this.
I can see the grape bubblegum thing. That is my favorite bubblegum in the whole world, is grape bubblegum. Bubble yum, grape bubble yum. Oh, it's the best. That they went on their canceled 2020 Scotland trip this May. So I think a lot of people were making up for it this year.
Can you ask him a question in real time?
You can ask him.
Oh, okay, because he can see it. So you made up for it in May. Where did you go in May?
Donner Pass Whiskey. Let us know where you went.
Yeah.
I'd love to know.
Let me live vicariously through you.
Right? I know I've talked to so many members who have been traveling, across the pond over the past couple of months. And it's such a treat to hear their stories. And I have some that send me pictures, and it's so cool to like see the world through other people's eyes. And it's a treat that people take the time to share. So.
Oh, is that a pup?
It is. She's being very rude.
She was like, yeah.
So beautiful whiskey, Cask 42.68 in Atlantic Morning Dit. This is a 15-year Highland whiskey, 13 years in an ex-bourbon hogshead, and 2 years in a second fill heavily charred hogshead. And this will be up for grabs via a lottery tomorrow. And we'll be sure to share all those details. So, stunning whiskey.
Absolutely.
Well, very, very fortunate to have been able to.
I kind of got a little like competitive and macho because I was just like, I think this is the best, like blah blah blah. And in the comments of like my articles, somebody was challenging me, but I'm just like, no, I stand by what I'm saying. Like SMWS, like I just trust implicitly that what they put out, I'm gonna love.
I mean, this is a pretty stunning example of that.
No, but I think it's like you really didn't like, oh, like Kat's gonna like this because it's, it was just synchronistic.
I think, yeah. I mean, I didn't get to, decide that this was the summer pick. We just got lucky enough to be on the receiving end of it and to be able to sit down and taste it together. So
nice.
Yeah, it is really fantastic. So Donner Pass Whiskey said they went to Glasgow, Pitlochry, Inverness, Glencoe, Stirling, and Edinburgh.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. I got like the next, because I've never been to Highland Speyside, but what I really want to do, it's kind of like a challenge with my fiance, is like I ask him, like, so do you believe in the Loch Ness Monster? He's no. I'm like, okay, well,
he doesn't?
He's like, no, but he's just like, I'm like, okay, so cool. You want to go swimming with me in the Loch Ness at night? And he's like, no, because it'll be cold. And I'm just like, nope, because you're actually afraid of the Loch Ness Monster. Like, this is like my bucket list. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's my bucket list to go to there. But I've never been, because I know that you like paraded around Speyside, and I like never made it up to the, I'm like that with my notes. I go to like the obscure places first.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to go, I was actually lucky enough to be taken. To Scotland.
Treated, and like, but you got to go to like the heartbeat, where it just Dufftown. So one day.
Yeah, it was, but I have not been to Campbelltown. I have not done the Springbank School, so
we'll switch. But I like social media is so fun because I'm just like, oh, and then she wore her red sorrel boots. Like, that's so nice.
I have like 20 pairs ready to go trekking through somewhere in the world. I'm ready to go. So
I totally copycatted you, but with like a cheaper version of that. So I'm just waiting for Scotland to get on the books, and so I can bust out these shoes I bought in 2020.
I know, right? I know. They're like collecting. They have cobwebs.
Yeah, I hope that I'm not annoying any like men, like just like blah 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 whiskey shoes.
No, not at all. No, this is amazing, and I feel very lucky.
Chlorine.
Ooh,
like okay. a nice fresh like YMCA, like the air at the YMCA.
I totally get what you're saying on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like indoor pool. Like, yes, there is definitely pool float, like new pool float smell on this.
And the last swallow that I just had, now I'm definitely seeing or tasting the grassy hay, like barley. This is going to be a very fun one to get to know, because this is like our first everything.
It's our first go at it.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to like taste it at different times of day, like with people, like
different experiences, different environments.
Sorry, tell me your highball again, honey.
I do just like a little honey. I'd make like a honey simple syrup, basically. Just melt the honey down.
See, I forget that you're really skilled in the kitchen. You melt the honey down?
Yeah, I just like melt the honey down with a little water, make like a little honey simple syrup.
In a
Toss that
saucepan?
in. Yeah, just like on the stove, like on the oven, like the stovetop.
Okay. Never thought to do that. That's exciting.
Just like a little honey simple syrup, peated whiskey of your choice.
Okay.
Their Distillery 29 makes a beautiful highball, is all I'll say. And then I do just tonic water, or if I have soda water, sometimes I'll use that. And a little bit of I do a lemon slice and squeeze a little bit of the juice in there and then just chunk it in, very professional-like, and give it call it a day.
Dude, I never make cocktails ever. My friend Sally.
Like 3.
My friend Sally is like muddled cilantro, and we're gonna chop up all of it with the celery juice. You know what I mean? And she makes these beautiful, very photographable, gorgeous drinks, and I'm just straight up like IPA, and once in a while,
whiskey neat.
But it's just but it's no fun because my partner, he doesn't drink whiskey, so it's like I pretty much I legitimately only have VIP whiskey. You know what I mean? So if somebody is over to share it, but I don't keep just kind of regular stuff around just for space concerns.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have an impressive bar at all, but the 4 or 5, I have Port of Deception. You know what I mean? So the bottles that I do have are cool. But sorry, Ed, sorry to I had another question for you.
While you're thinking of that, Max Kruger, he said a peated bloody is also a good time. So a peated Bloody Mary.
Okay.
I'm into it.
I'm intrigued. Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued.
I am very into that. And then a peated penicillin was my go-to during the pandemic. Yeah, some great cocktail ideas.
Okay. This is super silly, but it's okay, so for Father's Day, I bought my dad a membership, but I filled it out wrong. So everything came to him with my name on it. So it's
I can fix it for you.
I knew it. I was like, Dad, I know friends. I've got a guy that can
easy
do
fix.
It. Because he's so he's such a daddy. He's just like, oh, did you send it by here on accident? Do I need to send it to you? And I'm like, no, it's for you. So I was I clearly filled out the billing information and the membership thing reversed, but you could switch it.
No worries. I will take care of it for you. Easy enough. Easy enough.
It? Oh, that's
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So well, I guess if anyone out there is not a member of the society yet, we'd obviously love to have you as a member. And you can find all of that information over at smwsa.com. And if there are any questions that you have, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're always happy to help. And and now there are all these great cocktail recipe ideas coming in the chat. A peated old fashioned with maple syrup and bitters. So all these great things are happening in the chat. I'm gonna have to break this down.
Well, this is so exactly what I needed and what my doctor ordered after I've been on my feet all day. You know what I mean? Just perfect way to just kind of relax and then get into bed and watch TV. But what was I going to say to you? So thank you so much, because this was just
thank you. What the heck?
Literally exactly what I needed. And then I was gonna make a joke and anyone at SMWS, if they're watching, hire me.
I know some people.
But sincerely, this is don't wait on getting your membership and getting a bottle, because my whole the whole point of my article about it last month was that I thought, because of my proximity to you and Ben and people around, I'm oh, barbecue fishnets, cool, I'll get to it when I get to it. And then it was too late. So don't learn from my mistakes.
there are definitely things that move quickly, and
230 bottles is nothing for this.
Yeah, and I think we have just a little less, right at, I would say like 228, just because, like I said, you and I have one of those, and some of our teammates have one. So, 228 of these to, up for grabs. So,
yeah. God.
Yeah, good stuff. So thank you so much for taking the time to hang out. And
likewise, like now that it's gotten dark, I feel like I'm in I'm in like a horror film, because of the lighting. Sorry about that.
No, not at all. Not at all. This has been so much fun, and the people love you, really. I mean, There's been quite a few comments that one says Kat is on my short list of favorite people out there.
What a nice person. Well, okay, and then I'm gonna DM you some gossip.
Okay, deal. We can dig into some tea. And can you tell the people out there where they can follow you and find you and reach out to you if you want people to reach out to you?
Yeah, it's so cute. So somebody just said whiskey summit. What is a summit? And I'm like, it's a joke. It's a joke.
I remember because you were cat food breath for a long time.
And you were literally there that night. And it was like Nick Harborn, I miss him, and Karai. And so there was the program where it's like you can be a whiskey sommelier. And so they were joking that sommette is the feminine form of sommelier. You know what I mean? And so I just thought that was funny. So whiskey summit.
Yeah. You've been whiskey summit for a couple of years now.
I know. So follow me there, and thank you so much. This is so fun.
Yeah.
Really
so much.
Really perfect timing. Just what I needed.
Well, it's just what I needed too. So it was meant to be.
Good. Okay. I hope to see you.
All right. Soon. Yeah. So you hang tight. Don't go anywhere. And then everyone else, have a fantastic evening, and we will share all of the information on Cask 42.68 and Atlantic Morning Dip tomorrow.
The hair's
have a good night.
Down. Let my hair.
Cheers.
Cheers.